What I want to make sure is because I don't know if you've noticed it, but my jeans end up turned into shorts half the time.
Clap and all that.
Yeah, I've got to clap it. 3, 2, 1.
We're back.
We are back.
We are back.
Yes, sir.
And we have a guest today,
Hello.
Mr. JJL.
Hello.
Woo!
How are we doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Very well. Very, very well. Yeah, it's been a good day actually. It's JJL on the podcast and it's arcade release day. So
Yes.
First arcade release as well, which we're proper excited about.
It's been a really... You know what? I reckon just kick it off, play it. Just play it now.
Yeah, you know
just
what?
Do it. Just do it now.
I was just playing it and we were both jamming along.
Yeah.
It's very, very good. So Mr. Nettram and Halverson have made their return.
You got me running in a circle. I'm just trying to find my way back to you. What happened to us? Under the circle.
I'm just gonna go to the bit that we were just jamming onto, which was the ridiculous and amazing guitar part.
So good.
I did not know this had a guitar song.
Have you not heard this bit?
I didn't know.
Oh, it's
That's so great. That's so great. Oh,
anyway.
yeah, but
How are things?
Good, thanks. It's crazy being here because like 2 months ago, or maybe 3 months ago, I was a big fan of the podcast and I was listening to it, going to school and coming back from school, and I had no idea I'd be here now.
You manifested it.
That's pure manifestation, man. You did it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So yeah, because you are, without trying to belittle you, you are a young human, and you are already going at 1,000,000 miles an hour in this crazy music world. So
Thank you.
yeah, no worries, not at all. So like, for you, you say you're going back from school, listen to the podcast. Now you're here. You, as Dan said, you've manifested it. How have you got to this point in such a short space of time? What has happened? What is going on in this brain, man? It's crazy.
So, well, I mean, so obviously I had the release, and shall I go through the story of the release?
Yeah.
We
Do
can
the
talk
whole
story.
backstory.
That was a
Whole
big thing.
backstory.
Yeah.
Right, so it's so long. Right, so there was an MCS Q&A, which some of you are hosting, and then and at the end of the Q&A, a few people were like sticking around, and some people asked to show their tracks, and also I didn't want to go like, oh, can I play my demo? Like, so and a few people ended up showing their tracks, and then I asked if I could, and then I ended up playing it, and it turned out that you really liked it, which was great.
The community loved it. That was the thing. For me, like, I always say this on the podcast, you've probably seen, like, my knowledge of actual musical breakdown and analysis isn't the greatest. So it's all about, like, the reaction for me. And when you played it, everyone was just like, show this, Dan, sign this. I was like, he's got to at least hear it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and then the next week there was another Q&A, and I remember seeing it like 15 minutes before it started, and I was like on the bus and I like sprinted home. And then when I got here and Dan, you were there, and I ended up being able to play it in front of everybody, which is like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And then obviously there was like the chain of people saying sign it or something. And then that ended up. And then, then you said, let's make it happen. That was like the coolest thing ever.
When I heard it, it was... I don't know whether I heard it live. I think I was there, maybe live or something, but like hearing that, the production quality was insane.
Oh,
and
thank you.
also, like, I would never have gone drum and bass for that track, but it so works. Like, I
thank you.
don't know how you did that. Let me just play a quick snippet of it if someone hasn't heard it. I'm hoping everyone has.
So the chords, man. You can hear that boogie chord. That was what I said, wasn't it? It was that, like, the chords so nice.
Fast forward a little bit. Yeah, it's very like swingy.
Yeah.
So much
Super
swing to it.
It's really intricate as well, though. Like, I think what Dan says, like the actual quality of it, like the sound design is mad.
It did really remind me of like kind of Noisia kind of like sound design. Like you're very much going down that street, and like, I mean, they are top tier level production, and you're doing this at 14.
Crazy.
Which is unreal.
I know that you would have loved that as well. Like when you see it in the chat going off, and you know you have the power to go, let's make it happen. It's just the ego trip.
It was like the coolest moment ever. It was
that's
like-
awesome. That's
And
really
then
awesome.
because I ran up to Dad and I was like, oh my god, they want to sign it. And then we just started like running around in circles. And then and then obviously
That's a
that
good
was
callback. Sorry to interrupt. That's a great callback there to Halverson and
Running back in circles.
yeah.
Doing great.
Oh
there.
yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Good promo.
And then obviously that was sent to Jay and then and Srikar, and then they approved it, which was so cool. And what's so funny is the fact that since I started it for like just like a SoundCloud remix just for fun, the vocals were taken off of like an AI vocal splitter.
The like things that rip the vocal.
Yeah.
Right.
So it actually kind of worked enough to just continue, and that's still there, but it just doesn't sound because I didn't end up
so you
using-
didn't get the new stems right.
vocals. Oh no way.
So there, because by the time it was about to come out, it was like there was no possible way to get it. I probably should have reached out sooner, but it ended up working and no one noticed. So I thought it was it was
Wow.
probably okay. And I do notice some artifacts, but I think that's only because I put it through the thing.
Yeah, I did watch a breakdown on I think it was J. Escar's channel of like how you did it, and the way that you sort of chopped things was like unreal. But I think what would be great is to go like a background on like how you got into music in the first place, like where it all came from, like electronic music, etc., etc. Like sort of take us way back.
So when I was, I think I was like 4 or something. My dad, who's just over there, he was wanted to get me into music because he's a musician himself, and he gave me my first guitar, and I was really interested in that. And obviously, I was really bad at it, but and it was a lot of fun. And then I got into playing piano, and then I was really interested in like electronic tracks, and Dad was moving studios with his office. He was moving studios, and they had a few computers left over, so he ended up bringing one home, and it was a really old Mac Mini, and I ended up making some stuff on GarageBand, and they were all really bad. Like it sounded like a drum kit falling down the stairs, but it was yeah, I started from there, and then I managed to get I got Logic from there.
You're a Logic boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I just ended up working on stuff, and Dad taught me like the basics of Logic, because Dad started making EDM when he was on the train going to work.
That's cool.
Sick.
And yeah, Dad ended up teaching me like the basics of like automation and stuff like that. And then I ended up going on to like I got a better computer, and then I ended up moving on to the newer version of Logic. And now I laugh about it because now I'm teaching Dad stuff.
Just learning things really quickly.
Yeah, just because like YouTube and stuff is really really helpful.
Yeah.
And and I think I've done music all my life, so yeah, I can't really imagine what else would I do, because I'm like terrible at everything else. I've like almost got replaced with the cone in football, but yeah.
What when you got to that point of like, okay, I'm into music, I like the production idea. What was it? I mean, like I say, you're still so early in your career that it's hard to really. I mean, even artists that we've had on the podcast before have had so many more years to sort of look back and be like, this is where I decided this is the thing I want to pursue, etc. But for yourself, like, was there a moment or was there a time where you're like, do you know what? I want to start actually putting music out and really put my name to this thing that I'm working on.
I think because I was obviously making music, and then I was just like always on SoundCloud and stuff, and looking around and just discovering different people's songs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think Dad was the person who introduced me to SoundCloud, because Dad knew that from being a place where bands would put their songs on and connect with other bands and stuff. And so I ended up just putting out tracks on there.
Was it like tracks or like remixes, or what sort of stuff
So
was it?
It was mainly just normal tracks, and then
Right.
but the remixes for like remix competitions, and then I started some like random flips and stuff, and I I put them all on SoundCloud there, and I think obviously at first they were like really, really bad. It just sounded like someone was kicking a self-checkout machine or something.
You got some good analogies.
The analogies are so good. That's so good.
Thank you.
Like a bar.
And then so I just put out music on there, just see if anybody liked it, and then I ended up getting social media after a while, and that's when I started connecting with different people, especially on Discord. And I think that's when I started going like, okay, I think when I started getting collabs with other people, that was when I started, okay, I think I might be able to get a track on a label. It doesn't matter like whether it's small label or big label. I just want to be able to put my music out on Spotify.
Yeah.
And that was after like 2 years or something. And even if it was just like my own fake label on DistroKid or something, I don't know, but just a way to put the music out, and that's pretty much where it just
I think that like the collaboration thing that you touch on is like a really key part that we've noticed. I was saying, Charlotte, we were talking about it when we were, before you came down. I was like, you have already got this network of like producers that have been doing this for so long, like. And I think it comes back to what you touched on with these like sample challenges or the competitions. I think you mentioned to me the Disciple competition that you won, like those kind of things. I guess it's about getting your name sort of just out there and involved in as much stuff as you can, right?
Yeah, I think I love the community of producers. I met a lot of people who I'm like really good friends with, and that was through Discord and everywhere, and it's great. So I've got lots of friends who I've been friends with for two years now, and we all just love making music, and it's great because we're all around the world. Yeah. But it's just we all love making music, and it's since EDM is kind of like quite a small genre compared to everything else. It's just so nice to be able to like have friends that do it, and we're able to like push each other, support each other, share each other's music.
Do you do that all like via Discord? Because like I haven't fully gotten into Discord yet, but it's just mad.
Yeah,
how popular it is.
I still don't understand Discord fully. Like sometimes I'm like, am I not cool?
Yeah, am I? Yeah, can you hear me right now?
It's literally my job, and I don't understand it. If we didn't have a mod team in that server, oh my god, it would be me talking to nobody. I'd just be sitting there chatting.
Oh yeah. So how do you tend to talk to people? Is it all like messages or? Like, I guess I'm just curious. I genuinely feel a bit old right now. Like, as in, like, how do you build relationships with people online? Like, is it just messages and stuff or what?
So first I did a demo drop once on a Discord server. And I think it was Team MBL Discord server. And a guy called Zaber, he reached out to me after I played my song, and he was like, "Oh, you're the same age as me. I'd like to introduce you to a few of my friends." And then he put me in like a group chat with some people, and like it was Affa and Cole Phillips released the remix of On and On.
Yeah.
And then a few other good friends of mine. And from there we just like started talking, and then we ended up creating a server where we've got all our friends in, and it's
so cool.
And it's all like VCs and messages. It depends.
I guess you just hop on. I know that Jake does that as well. Like you just hop on and just if someone's in a call,
he does
share your screen or whatever.
Yeah, he does this thing where he's on with his mates where he'll like share. Everyone shares their screens, and then you're all in like a voice chat or something like that, and then you just occasionally will jump in and like look at someone's screen. Like someone will go, "Oh, I've just made a really sick beat," and then like everyone will join.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool. Yeah.
It's great. It's like a 24/7 studio session.
Yeah. That's just the power of the internet, man. Bro, the Discord are gonna come for us. You know, they're gonna be like, "Yeah, this is what we do all the time."
Yeah, we do this all the time.
We're gonna get absolutely done for that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I need to get into the Discord more. I just feel like I jump in occasionally, but then I just don't understand what's happening. It goes so quick and stuff, but
it's so.
Yeah, I find it impossible in there.
It's so funny when you're in there.
Didn't you say there was one time when I like stayed in the? I just stayed in like some sort of
yes,
voice.
for like 24 hours.
Yeah,
in this
I
channel.
don't.
So basically, we do these events, right? And obviously, with the perms that we have on there, like me, Dan, and Charlotte, we can join into any channel that we need to get into if you need to sort things out, whatever. And this event had ended. I can't remember what hangout. I think it was just some sort, either a demo or it might have been the 11-year celebration. I think it was that. And everyone had left because I'd changed the perms to kick everyone out. But because Charlotte's got the like top permission, she just stayed in there. And I was like, oh, I could get rid of that now. I was like, oh no, she might just be hanging out in it. And I was then I think I was talking to other people in like another chat, whatever. And I was like, she's still sat in there. Surely she's not that active. Then I got rid of it. The next day she was like, no, I left after like half an hour. You just sat by yourself in a voice call.
I love like the thing that I think I'm funny when I'm in the Discord. But like I'll reply to like comments with like GIFs that have nothing to do with that comment.
I find that so funny when people do that.
Yeah,
Don't egg him on.
I love it. I think I'm really funny, but I think lots of people don't think I'm funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of times on Discord, like my friend Harry, he always like I'll just put the most. I was like, oh, I just got a new sample back, and then he'll reply to that with it's always like a GIF of like a monkey with a banana, and then it says like discussing banana prices, and it's like
yeah, I love that sort of humor. It's just
they're just random.
It's dumb. Yeah,
you know what? Like when I think of your humor, I think of like I don't know if you know what I mean. Like the memes that were like in the Arial font. They were like the first memes,
right?
Like,
Yeah.
And it'll be just a face like someone on The Simpsons or something going like that, and be like, when your friends annoyed you. That like makes you think
Like
of your kind of
something
humor,
really-
like the stupid,
a bad joke.
Yeah, that's
I love
exactly
I
it.
saw from the last podcast, people were taking the photo of you from
Oh
the thumbnail
God, yeah.
and just posting that continuously.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to get more of the approval on that. Although you pose like that specifically for the.
Well, you know, I actually love it. To be fair, I do love it.
Outside of music, what other things do you do? Like you said about Discord. I guess if you're in the digital world a lot,
Do you
then that
game?
becomes your hangout.
I
right?
don't actually.
Oh.
I used to. I had an Xbox before, and I wanted to get a DJ deck to start DJing, so I ended up just selling my Xbox, which was like really scary for me because I was like so obsessed with Fortnite and stuff.
Oh really?
And then I just I just sold it, and I ended up just like not wanting to game much after that. And because I have a Mac, you can't, and especially it's really old as well. I can't really game on it.
Yeah.
So I occasionally play like Minecraft, but it's
Minecraft's
very
amazing.
rarely.
It's the
Minecraft's
goat, man. It's the
that has
goat.
just lived on like forever.
Yeah.
Highest selling game of all time, right? Individual
Is it really?
sales of a game. Yeah, I think so.
Love that.
I've never played it, but I would like to.
I
be
think
in,
you'd
like
like
an
it.
NCS one.
Oh, that would
Can
be
we
cool.
make our
Do a
own
search.
world?
Do you remember
Right,
that?
we have-
So,
Yeah.
right at the start of me in this job,
Yeah.
I was like in discussion of trying to get a server up. If anyone in the Discord or anyone watching actually, knows the best way for us to do
Yeah.
that.
I think we were going to do one, but it like that you had to do something
How
weird
do you?
to like set it
How
up.
does someone get access to your server?
What do you mean?
You invite people, right?
So,
you can get in with like addresses. Whatever.
okay, so but anyone
again,
could
you
get
can,
in and.
But again, you
destroy
can
it,
do like
or-
perms. You can do like permissions in it of what people can do. It's like you can make it so people can't even break blocks or anything.
Oh, I used to
Right.
destroy all my friends' servers. What I would do is like they'd finish building like a mansion or something like that. Spent loads of time on it, and then I just put TNT on
Bro,
all of it.
literally,
And you know when
yeah.
the door opens, it triggers the door
Or on the
opening.
little plate.
So the door opens like, wow, check this out.
Well, you're not allowed now.
Yeah.
No one can do that.
Yes.
But we could just set up an area that's just like the death zone where everyone can just fight.
Or just restrict only me. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Like,
Just you flying over like a lord. I remember when the server that me and my mates had like back in the day, and I used to play. It would be like I'd cycle through Minecraft, FIFA, Call of Duty, like for 12 hours straight, just going round and round. And we had this server, and we kept it going for ages. And it was getting to the point that it was like, I don't know, either a new year or a new school year or whatever the reason was. And we were like, right, we're going to do a purge. And we had like a final night. I can really remember it vividly. And at that point, that was like the most important thing in my entire life.
Yeah.
It was great. But I think you're in that sweet spot now. If you're saying like you basically just producing, right? Like all as much as you can.
I think I do game sometimes on like I said, playing Minecraft with my friends. But I think if I was to get an Xbox again, I would spend a lot more time gaming.
What would
But
you play?
I know that I get very addicted to stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm really scared that if I get an Xbox, I'm not going to go back to producing it.
What game would you play? If you couldn't do Fortnite, what game?
Oh, that was like Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
COD's sick. Man.
because I went round to my friend's house to play it, and that was a lot of fun.
Definitely, like I feel like producers in general, like I said with my housemates as well, it's like that addictive personality. It's like when you sit and you're working on your saw wave for 8 hours
Yeah.
straight, and you just constantly.
The same, like me.
I see it with my housemates. Like I'll hear the same
Yeah.
half a second of vocal getting like melodined for a good 20 minutes, and then the next little bit, and I'm like, you've got to be so not even focused, just so in love with what you're doing to be able to sit and do that. It's I guess it is that that kind of addictive personality.
It is quite fascinating when you sit there with just like you said, just like a saw wave, and then you've just got another saw wave, and then you just change the pitch of the other one, and you're like, whoa! It's the way
Just
that like
tweaking the tiniest.
yeah,
things.
and it's just
Yeah.
it always just it's really cool. And I think sound designing can be a lot of fun. For me, sometimes sound designing is like it's either I do not want to do it or I really want to do it. And because it's something that takes quite a lot of time, where you just kind of like sit there and mess around.
What stage is sound design, or is it when you're making the music? Like, is it at the end? Like, is it like mastering?
Yeah,
like
to
I don't
me,
know what
it feels like the pretty stuff that you'd finish, right? I don't know. Am I right in that?
So I think it depends. So a lot of the time, you can like sit there and just literally spend a sound design session. So you just make whatever sound you want, and then you can like export that kind of. You can export everything, and you can go back to it. Let's say you get like a writer's block or something. You can go back to all your sounds, and you go, "Oh, that sounds cool. I can use that for that." Or you can be like the other thing I might do is if I'm working on the track, and then I'm like, okay, there's a sound I want for this that will sound like this, and then I'll try and create that sound, and then I put it in. So I'm like, oh, okay, I want chords that sound like this, and then I'll just try and recreate that. And I'm not the best at sound designing, but it's a lot of fun to try and learn. And yeah, it depends what process, but I think usually it's either like the first thing or during you're making.
Have you figured out like kind of? I guess this always takes time and develops, but like, do you feel like you've got a sound, as in, or?
That's a good question.
I have no idea. I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's funny because I was just thinking about that before we came, and it's just I know that eventually I'm probably gonna go to house,
Right.
But right now I'm doing drum and bass, and it just feels like I'm just there doing drum and bass, and it's just my thing right now. And I feel like right now I'm just doing whatever,
Yeah.
and then I'm just hoping that like in the next few years it will like narrow down to something that ends up being what I make. But I know I want to do probably some kind of house thing, and I know I want to have like some garage influences and stuff.
That's cool.
Because
Bit like the one with Retrovision.
Yeah.
That one we were talking about earlier.
yeah, because I did that on a few sample flips and stuff, and then people said that, oh, like I'm the guy who makes garage and some stuff. So yeah, I think if I can just keep on doing like the most random stuff, and then it can be a mixture of what I enjoy most and then what other people
Yeah, because
say.
yeah, you could. I suppose as well, you don't have to have a genre. You could just like have a sound that cross genres.
Yeah.
I feel like Raptures, to be fair, has done like so many different genres now, and
Yeah.
you know it's him. You know,
Yeah.
like, I think that's I suppose it's developing that sort of sound.
It's also, to me, it feels like I don't know if you necessarily have to pigeonhole yourself into a genre. It's sort of the style of how you choose your sounds and what that's like. For example, I listening back now once we played it, know that that's D&B, but like the To the Top remix. But the design and how you approach that isn't like you would put a traditional D&B song in. You know, it's
Would
much
you
more
have genuinely have known that was drum and bass? Do you know what drum and bass is?
Yeah,
Oh, you do.
yeah.
Right. Would you have known that was drum and bass?
No, God no.
Yeah.
You know I'm not good with.
But what I said is like for comparing that to what I guess you would think of a more generic D&B track, it's the actual process that you've designed that sound with that is more of your sound than the genre. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
You can go cross genres then.
yeah,
You can go-
exactly.
yeah. I was sort of alluding at the genre thing then, but like we have this thing in the office. Well, we talk about it probably every podcast episode at the moment. But like we'll go, it's you know what? It's annoying at the moment. It's like
I don't know. Don't look at us.
Yeah.
No. I'm just saying, like it'll
That's
come
so
to release day, right? And then it'll be, I'll go to upload the video, and it'll be, yeah, this is definitely drum and bass, and Harry will go, this is house. What are you talking
And I'll
about?
be going,
I'm like,
by the way, the social aspects
yeah,
are
and
all
you'll go,
crap.
what? It's indie dance or what? Yeah, I'm like, what? Like,
It's more like 6 weeks ago. I'll ask you what the genre is. You'll go, it's drum and bass.
no,
And then 2 days before, you change it and go, oh no, it's indie house.
no. You know what?
do.
I care about what the fans want.
You should.
You
have thought
guys
that
just
6
don't
weeks
care.
before.
Oh,
You just
gosh.
don't care.
We care. I think we should listen to some music.
Yeah, let's listen
Yeah.
to some
Yeah,
music.
let's do it.
Okay, so we're gonna listen to some tracks that came out this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I think you're wrong about your dates
Oh,
that
really?
you sent me. Yeah,
Sorry.
those are in the future.
Roll wrong.
Wrong.
Well, it still works.
As
You can
in-
use them anyway.
This is coming out next week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, you know what?
What are you thinking?
Are we doing one arcade release a
Yeah.
week?
Yeah.
I thought it was one every 2 weeks for some reason.
Oh god.
I've just slammed
Yeah,
you
no.
down, and you're right. Sorry about
I'm right. Hey,
Um,
that's great.
that. Okay.
Did you
your
say that was like
face.
existential? That was
Yeah.
like you weren't even on the podcast then. You
Yeah.
just stood over there, had that thought, and came sat back down.
All right, so I'm going to do my classic, wait for SoundCloud to load and all that jazz. So first track that came out on Tuesday was Facading Tonight.
He's been on a really good run from was it his last year, wasn't it, when he had like a load of tracks? Yeah,
Yeah.
and obviously came on the podcast. Great guest.
Have you heard of Facading before?
Yeah, I watched the podcast yesterday. Actually, it was
Oh,
great.
cool. Yeah.
Who's been your favourite guest that you've seen in the podcast?
Soki.
Oh yeah, man.
I think it was just such a
That
funny
was such a
episode.
funny
And
episode.
I'm such a big fanboy of Tasoki anyway.
Yeah,
so
he's
it's,
good.
Yeah.
All right, what's this tonight?
Cool. So this is Facading Tonight. In fact, I'm going to ask our guest what genre this track is. No, yeah, don't
I can't
answer.
tell yet,
Don't
yeah.
answer yet. Don't answer yet.
Sadin always shoots a really good vocals. Like that.
Yeah.
the melody,
Yeah.
so good.
Oh,
So what genre is that?
I know what I'd put that on.
What would you go for?
Okay, so I'll say not that bit, but I'd say that the rest of it's drum and bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be, yeah, and then
But then the other bit's not drum and bass.
But that
is it?
doesn't
So-
matter. This is what I'm saying. Just stick with your guns. Whack the first drop.
So it was White Circle. It's
Yeah.
electronic because it's
Ah.
multi-genre. It's almost like hard to go.
yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So
because I would just say halftime drum and bass, but that doesn't really work.
yeah,
We're going to get so granular. The amount of time to talk about it's going to be every like single hex code of color. It's associated to a sub genre.
then we have our second arcade release that comes out today as the podcast drops.
Yes, sir.
Right? And that is Joxion.
Oh, I know this guy. He's so good.
Yeah. Talk That Way. The stuff that he sent through were unreal. Like
He's so good.
I like that name, Joxin. It's cool.
It's like the #1 stuff I'd want to hear in the club.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll fast forward a little bit.
Are you talking away even about your?
How do you do that?
I've no idea. So that's good sound design, right? Is that sound design? That sort of, yeah. I don't know. I love that track.
That actually gives me a little bit like Kajama Tozoki vibes.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Not far off.
Come
So
on.
is that Future House or not?
Face
What's-
house.
Yes.
Bass.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Because I know Joxon
Yeah.
comes kind of like from it's like bass house mixture with tech
Right.
house. Because there's a lot of like groovy tech house stuff in there.
Yeah.
I think. Because
Yeah.
No, you say it with chest. We don't have a clue. So go on.
Yeah.
Fine.
I
But
don't
no matter what you
believe
say, I'm gonna go. Yeah. You know what? You're right.
be
It
right,
is that groovy. It is that groovy bass house. Yeah, definitely.
And then Thursday we've got Tolef, Like a Stone.
Oh, I already know what's gonna be in there. I need some of that funky electric guitar.
Yeah.
Come on.
Fast forward in a bit.
There it is.
Like emptiness.
It's that little vocal.
just so happy.
Yeah.
So minimal.
But like, I'm on a farm and it's really
Yeah,
steady,
yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like I want to do a bass face, but that does not feel right.
Right.
And then what I'll do is I'll play some upcoming releases.
Did you play the one on?
Saturday. I need to know what it is actually.
Maybe this. I think I'm gonna pitch the idea. This should be Charlotte's job.
I
over yours.
couldn't go
Well,
through it.
you
I'm not
didn't-
very good at playing drops and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Okay, so I know what song
Not
it is.
very good at
This-
playing
this is a
drop.
good
It
one.
just doesn't play.
So then Saturday we've got 32 Stitches,
Which we haven't had in a long time.
No, a long
Yeah.
time.
and the track is called Freedom with Chender and Harley Bird.
That's a lineup.
Yeah,
That is a good lineup.
here we go.
Do we know when the last 32 Stitches release was?
No idea, to be honest.
Over like a year, right?
Oh, I
Yeah. More
Was it? Was it? No, I was thinking it was that Uncharted tune, wasn't it?
Ah.
Which came out when Uncharted,
Oh yeah.
so it was probably this year. He has such an eerie voice, Harley Bird.
Yeah.
It's already so atmospheric.
Yeah.
Super atmospheric.
I love that these mics, it like compresses the music
Yeah.
when I talk. I'll fast
Give him
forward
the
a
whole
little
track.
bit. Yeah.
It's like fight scene music.
Yeah, you're in like a jungle fighting
Yeah.
people. Yeah. Yeah. Cool track.
I think I've told this to both of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. And if you both know the answer, then it can be a quick competition. JJL, Jasper, you may know the answer as well. But do you know who Chender recently supported at a gig?
I do. We've spoken about it.
Oh,
It was Shaq.
yeah,
Oh,
supported
yeah?
Shaq,
Yeah.
Shaquille
Didn't you
O'Neal.
do a remix for Shaq?
He goes like DJ
Oh, I did.
Diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was this?
Who did a remix for Shaq?
Well, no, it wasn't like official. It was,
Right, yeah,
it
right,
wasn't
right.
official. It was for the so obviously last year they had a Disciple remix competition.
Yeah.
And then they had
Right.
there was I think that was 12 tracks. And then I did the one with Affair, which was the Sleepwalking remix, and then I did the one of the Eliminate and Shaq track. And it was
Oh.
Right.
and that was with Thorn Harry.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Shout out to Chender. I mean, because I there's that video that I remember when I was younger of Shaq at like whatever concert, and he's like grabbing the
Yeah.
rail. Do you remember? He's
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, what is Shaq doing there? And then now that I'm like in this world, I'm like, he's a massive fan of like electronic
Oh,
music,
yeah,
like
yeah.
so big. We saw the video of him like meeting the shipwreck guys after
Oh,
that.
that was
after, and he's
cool.
like, I know you guys.
Yeah, Shipwreck Guys. Yeah, that
It's
was.
so cool, man.
I'll play some unreleased bits.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god. Wubben, WBN,
Yeah.
Monge
I like that vocal already.
Radio. Melody in this one. is insane.
Sounds very melodic. That's like major laser era pop, man.
Yeah, that's all they get from that one. Midnight Cult, Wigaz, Can't You Feel It?
Wigraz is great.
Yeah.
So good.
I've got a track with him.
Really?
Oh.
Okay. Nice. Let's fast forward a little bit.
I've heard this one.
Have you?
Yeah.
Nuts. nuts.
It's so good.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Right, like I always think about like there's the whole thing about you were saying earlier like just getting back being on Discord saying imagine you're sat in your Discord call, Wiggles goes up, yeah, hop on, I got something, and then that just flies out. Like, you've just been sat in your room making this noise for the last it's madness.
Speakers are broken.
Your speakers must be boiling up, man.
A couple more is Paul Flint, E. Wellham Ba.
Yeah.
Strangest name, but I think
Does it translate?
I think what it is, it's the sample. He's chopped the sample to say E. Wellham Ba.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You're loving this like the like bassy stuff at the moment.
Yeah, not very Paul Flint. But
No,
to be honest,
I was about to say this is going to be really melodic. What?
Last one. Give me another heavy one. You're right. Max Bron returns with Redemption.
Close your eyes.
That's sick, man.
Am I a bit too far in the future, am I?
Well, you are a bit, but I'll let
right.
it go. But I would say you're not playing anything from arcade.
Oh, I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
Did you not play one? I thought you
No, he
played.
hasn't.
I only played the one.
That was
That comes out.
I'm gonna play
as in
another.
that's out
Yeah.
the week
Oh,
it's
okay,
out.
yeah.
I want to like see.
So you mentioned Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thorn.
Yes.
Thorn. Call on Me. Arcade release.
He was like one of the first friends I've ever made.
Really?
He's great. I love him.
You heard this one.
Yeah, this one's so sick.
Please.
Again, it has like it's that UK bass like sound,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, it's
It's
really
so
cool.
good.
Am I playing one more arcade then?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
You guys have the yes. Go on then.
Go on. Yeah, you go. Then we've got M Blue. Follow Me.
Don't leave me, boy.
That's crazy.
Nuts.
It's like that's like falling over.
Yeah.
So nice.
Slows down, speeds up.
Yeah, that's really sick. Some bangers coming out.
Some great
Are
tracks.
Are you enjoying that dark, heavy sound at the moment?
You know
There's a
what?
lot of like.
There was some more bright stuff in there, but
Oh right.
I
kinda
think a lot of the
selected those.
stuff that you've been signing recently is very heavy.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I like a bit of heavy stuff.
Yeah. I've noticed that you, Jake, and Aga all love the heavy stuff that we've been signing
Do you
recently.
prefer heavy or more melodic-y kind of, or heavy melodic?
Heavy melodic.
Yeah.
That's a good compromise.
It's hard because I love heavy stuff because that's like my favorite kind of genre. But then also I love like melodic stuff and like chords and everything. So I can't decide. Like a mixture between the two. Yeah.
What do you listen to like day to day? Like what's the sort of stuff you like listening to?
So it changes like every single week. It goes from it's like 1 week it will be Jacob Collier. Next week it's a lot of Ellis. There was a lot of Ellis.
Oh, I
You know
thought
what?
we were going to get through this podcast without mentioning that boy.
We
but he's
mentioned
made
every
it.
podcast.
And then there's it's weird. It always goes
Sounds
to,
like my house at the moment. You're playing Jacob Collier and Ellis.
Yeah.
It's basically what we
say-
hear in my gaff.
You were speaking earlier about people. That's everyone that you've spoken about today. You just go on about.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, and then there's that, and then there's Cameron Crooked.
Yeah, I said I love
So
it. It was
good.
Yeah, I think we're one of the first artists that kind of got me into electronic music. There's a track called Climax from Camo and Crooked that was on Gran Turismo, like one of the old Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
They used to have like a jazz. You know, when you're in the lobby, it's playing like jazz music, and then when you go into the game, it's like heavy drum and
That's
bass and
sick.
stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what those three artists you mentioned there sort of it actually makes sense hearing like the To The Top remix and your sound. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like there's a lot like Ellis's stuff is really intricate, like all the little like glitches and sort of the gaps in there. You've got the like chord bases for like Jacob Collier, and then like that
The
obviously
noise
just
tree,
DMV,
Camo
just the
and
super
Crooked. Yeah,
makes sense. That makes sense. The influences are coming together.
What sort of stuff are you working on at the moment?
So I've got a lot of stuff that I'm working on with a lot of different people. So I think like pretty much all of them are collabs. I've got one with Thorn, Harry. I've
sick.
got one with Wigraz. I think that's how you say his name. And then there's one.
Don't worry, we've
We
butchered
always
so
get
many
it.
names on here. That's fine.
And then there's one with Raptures, who I was talking to yesterday, and then and then there's two with Madzi, and
Oh, sick.
yeah, he's he was on No Way Back,
Yeah.
and and then I've got 2 ideas with Madzi, and oh my god, every time I collab with Madzi, it's like the funnest thing ever because it's always like we go like really hard D&B first drop, and then second drop we go like halftime D&B, and then add all of his crazy chords, and it's so I love it so much.
Sick.
Do you have anything you can tease us with? Have you got anything you're working on? As in that we can play out. If not, don't worry.
I don't think so.
All right.
I also don't have my
Keeping it
phone.
under wraps.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
actually have
like,
my
yeah,
phone with me right now.
You
so
know
I
what?
can't.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think you touched on it there in terms of like these people that you're working with. I think especially Madzi, like he's another person that's super active in the Discord. And earlier on, you were saying like getting involved in all the sample things. Like you're again so early in your career, but is there anything that you could sort of suggest to people in a really similar position to you? I guess that are like starting out, trying to find their way, whether it is just those getting involved in the community and doing what it is. What would you suggest to someone just kicking it off?
I'd say don't be afraid to put out your music, like from SoundCloud and everything, because as soon as I started like social media and putting tracks out on SoundCloud, that's when I started meeting people to collab with and stuff. And I feel like I've been in like a spot where it's like I will work on songs for so long and I will not want to put it out until it's like perfect, completely perfect. And then it just goes on for months and months because there's always going to be something you want to add to a track. And I think if I was to put those tracks out, I would have a lot more like people I know. And I think, it's something that a lot of people are afraid of, to just put the tracks out. But yeah, I would just say, don't be afraid to put your tracks out, network with other people, show your tracks to other people, because that's how you manage to meet other people and learn from them and stuff like that.
Awesome.
How long have you actually been, like, would you say, in this world? Like, are we talking like a year and a half?
I'd say so, yeah. Because that's when I first got Discord and Instagram. That's when I started to like talk to other people.
Yeah.
And getting like Twitch streams and stuff like that. So I think that was like
Mad.
I think
It's insane.
I in a great way, I almost couldn't avoid you. Like, I feel like I've just seen you everywhere somehow. But like, bear in mind, we get a lot of messages and like emails from artists all the time. Yet, for the past few weeks, we've been talking about you in the office.
Oh, that's
I think
like,
it's a good way of like
yeah.
conducting yourself, because you see like names popping up regularly, but when I guess obviously in the way that we function as a label, there's the skills and the tracks have to back up, right? But I think you're a good example of how to, and you touched on it exactly there with making these connections, getting on socials, like of how to get your name in front of a label, in front of people that are the ones that need to hear it, not in a way that's shoving it down your throat and being like, look, I think it's that you've conducted yourself in a really good way.
Oh, thank you.
I have a question, because so the way we wrap up the podcast, you've probably seen it before. We ask a hypothetical question, and I completely forgot to write one, but I've thought of one whilst we've been going, so you can see what we work with. I was thinking, if you were in a Discord voice chat, right, and you ask somebody to watch your stream, right, what would be the NCS track that you would play?
As in, like, you produce.
So you want to blow them away? Imagine,
As in, like, you were the producer.
Well, even if you
But
haven't.
Is JJL surely can't pick his own tune, right?
Well, you can pick his own. I don't think you'd do that anyway. So I think realistically, the question is like pick an NCS song that's going to blow someone away. Really, I'm gonna get one first. If you want to get it up there.
All right.
And only because we've been discussing them recently, but I'm going to do the Kajama Tozoki
Jonathan
collab.
Rise.
Did I do that
I was
one
going
before?
to say that.
We've definitely done that song
I'm
before,
doing
but
it,
it's
yeah.
fine.
So,
Kajama Tozoki Feelings.
Feelings. All right.
I love that tune, you know.
That's my favourite NCS release of all time.
Is it really?
Well, I've just stolen your answer. haven't I?
Kajama's on tour now in New Zealand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
guy plays so many shows.
I've listened to this way too many times.
Really?
Like hearing that live, everybody's singing that bass line.
Yeah.
Cool
Yes,
thing.
so cool. Anyone else got any answers? So you're sitting in your voice chat. You're saying,
I
get in
think
here. You need to blow them away. What are you playing?
about me.
Oh, good.
Would you have sung it as well? Like, are you
Yeah,
are you
sure.
Katie and Max? Do you know what I mean?
And Roy.
And
Like,
yeah.
But yeah.
This tune's actually sick as well. Do you remember when she did this live?
Yeah,
Tune.
that's great.
Saw that they were on like Radio 1 the other day.
Really?
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
so cool.
Wow. Have you got
Yeah.
a track, or shall I do mine?
I've got one. So
You do.
if it's like blowing someone away, this is kind of unfair because it's like it would be the Heartless, the mega collab. Because
Oh, what
when you've
drop?
got like that many people combining, you gotta blow someone away.
What drop would you show them? Or
Personally,
suppose- are
my
you showing-
favorite is Third Drop.
love that drop. Yeah.
Is that the one with the little vocal bit before the drop? Or was that
It's,
the right track?
yeah, it goes break down, but
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it is.
Baseline gonna make man shut up.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The read, like
Oh, it's nuts.
That's 3 serious contenders there, Dan. I have to say.
I'm really struggling, but I think I know what it is. I think.
So you sat in your Visa, you're going, Sam, come in here. Look what I
think
found.
it's If Found, Dead of Night, VIP.
VIP. Oof.
Yeah.
This one.
Love the lot, Brandon.
I'll fast forward a bit.
Yeah, it's crazy. That sound design's nuts on that,
Yeah.
actually, isn't it? All right, go to the
Well-
community tab and let us know. Probably not the best question I've come up with, to be honest.
It wasn't a bad
but
one,
it's all
to
right.
be fair,
Let us
yeah.
know who had the best choice of track to. If you were sat in a Discord and we said, come and have a listen, and which track would you be the most blown away by?
Well, yeah, rounding it up then. Any last words to say? What's coming in the future?
I'll just say thank you so much for the opportunity.
No stress at all.
It's so cool because I've obviously been a big fan of NCS and the podcast as well, and it's just so cool to be able to be here and it's
That's
great.
awesome, man.
Thank you
We're
so
very
much.
happy to have you. Thank you guys so much for listening, tuning in, watching. JJL, thank you for being an excellent guest. Thank you to your dad behind the camera for hopping in as well. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Ciao.
Bye.